rose to the occasion and came in and did certain things, and been very, very appreciative of that, and greatly wanted me to express my opinion to you towards that. The other things are helping in the community with meals and helping our residents who are in prison and cannot, don't have loved ones, and that you're coming in as our support cast, because a lot of times we can't do it all by ourselves. We try to partner with people in the community who has been in the community, who has done great things for us in the community. So it's been a great access for us as we go through. Just to give you a little bit of history about Phillips, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of responsible for a $19 million budget. So it's a big task, not only for me, but we are very careful. I don't believe in throwing away funds. I believe in bringing in the partnership and things outside. And at the end of the year, whatever we have, we can put back in our Treasury Department so it can be used in various other occasions and things that we have to do to make sure that we get along. But just to tell you a little bit about what our expectations and what we do at Phillips. I'm just an old country boy out of Somerville, South Carolina, near Myrtle Beach, growing on the farm, know how it is to work. I always tell the inmates at prison, you don't know how hard work unless you've been on a farm. When it's 100 degrees and you're baling hay and you're running cows and you're doing everything else. So I can kind of relate to these young men that we have up there at prison, that they have. A high percentage of these individuals will return back to our community. They will go back. There's no doubt about it. What we're doing in our regimen, in our mission now at Phillips State Prison, is we're trying to prepare these individuals to go back, because we'll never know, and one day they may be our neighbors, our church members, our social event members. So we have to prepare them to get back in the community. And that's been my vow from day one. I am very, very high with education for someone who's got a master's and soon will have a PhD. So I'm very high on these individuals on getting an education and learning and being able to learn and providing the tools and the necessary tools for these individuals to be strong in what we do and how we do it. With this entire, we have several mental health individuals who's there. Our also job is to make sure that we provide medical care at Phillips State Prison, which we saved the state probably about $10 million last year with the way that we handle our mental health medications and how we minister that. In fact, I want to kind of briefly let you know I have to run out of here pretty soon. I got about 70 nurses and a couple of doctors at Phillips is meeting now, so they wanted me to run back over there and close out with them. So I'll turn it over to Mr. McCoy, who's my counterpart, who runs the transitional center at Phillips State Prison, which houses about 300 and something inmates. With that particular program, those inmates are pretty much within 6 to 12 months of getting out. They do a great job. A lot of your staff volunteers and assist us with this. And with that, as far as employment, getting jobs, employment, interview process, re-entry process, even carrying them through our drug and treatment classes. So this is a very close event that we necessarily must have in order for us to be successful. One of the things I try to teach these individuals as we go through the prison system, I try to educate the young men as well as at the TC of Phillips State Prison. And one of the things I try to tell them about is just learn 3 questions you got to ask yourself. My grandfather, who's about 92, always calls me every day just to see how I'm doing, whether or not I'm in prison or not. Although I'm in ward, he wants to know whether I got arrested or anything. But 3 questions we really ask these individuals. What do you want out of life? Where are you going to go? And how you get there? If you can answer those 3 simple questions in life, then you pretty much has developed your pattern of life and where you want to go. And what I was explaining to these young men is that when I graduated with my master's degree, I said I walked across the stage, but I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't have a plan. But my mama told me one thing: you're not going to stay here free. So you're going to have to find somewhere. So I quickly picked up the phone and got to Georgia out of Carolina and picked up a job and been working ever since. Been in the department for about 25, 26 years. Been through it all and been through execution. So I know what it is going through the prison system. As a young man stayed in trouble a lot of times, and one day the light went off and said you can't keep going down the same way with the same results. And that's where I'm at today. And I go around each one of these individual cell houses, and I try to preach that the man above, if you can look to him above and he gives you that strength, that can carry you through every single day. And as being an individual of a ward with about 300 and some staff and about 1,400 inmates, sometimes the warden has to sit in his office and open up the Bible and go back and reflect on things they go through, because everybody brings the problems to the warden, but sometimes the warden got to close the door and bow his head and say, God, just give me the strength to make it from day to day. And that's sometimes I do it, and I know my secretary, she wonders what I be doing over there in the office with the door closed, but sometimes you got to reflect on your blessings. And if you don't reflect on your blessings, you never know what you're going through. And one of the things at Phillips we try to teach is sometimes it's okay to go through the storm, because you will not be educated unless you go through that storm. Because I believe truly enough that the world is round. We may not go through the same problem every single day, but we got some similarities that may cause us to go through those problems. But if we learn to go through those similarities, when those problems arise up to us, then we clearly understand what we'll need to do to progress and come through those problems. And I used to try to tell them that the rules of life is our Bible. If we read it, if we truly read it, and we truly understand the scripture, whatever problem that comes through our life, if we can reflect back on the scriptures that we go through every single day, then pretty much we can map our lives out that any problem that occurs, we should be okay. But he will carry us through the storm if we just hold on. And one of the things I preach to them is sometimes that storm is rocky, but if you just stand on that solid rock, it'll continue to hold on to you and make you be another appreciative of the individual that you have. But one of the things I do want to close, I don't want to hold up, because I can sit here and talk all day, and I don't want to do that and take away from you. But I really want to say at the very end, I really, truly, we could not be where we at today at Phillips State Prison without the support of your church. I've been there, as you know through the newspapers, when individuals are killing each other and stabbing. But at Phillips, we really haven't had that problem. And one reason why is because I try to lead by example, but also be out there and be side by side. Not only with the staff, but I try to teach the inmate. Percentage of our inmates are in prison not because they're bad people. They made a bad decision. And sometimes I was that close from making that bad decision. And so when I realized that I've become more educated and understandable of the system, I really truly believe that somehow there's good in everybody. And if you can pick out the good in every individual that you have, then you will progress and that individual will move along to being that point. So again, I really want to say to you, thank you from the bottom of my heart and my staff at Phillips State Prison. I've got my counterparts at Gwinnett. We work real close together. Appreciate you guys. We couldn't do it without you. But again, I want to truly say that you all have been a great partnership. We're going to continue to be a partnership over there, and anything that we can do that we can help or make it a little bit easier or successful for you, we'll be glad to do so. My office is always open. My secretary, I want to give this young lady a hand because she kept me out of trouble, y'all. So would you come up, Candace? Candace is a member of your church, and I tell you, she's my right hand. She tells me when I got to go to the doctor, when I got to get my shoes shined, when I need to get a haircut. So she keeps me in line all the way through from beginning to the end. So she's a great access, been a great part, and is a strong advocate of bringing you all to Phillips State Prison. So at this time, we want to bring up Mr. Russell Gray. Is he around? Is he still here? One of the things we want to do is that we kind of want to show you that there's a very intelligent individuals that we have in prison. If you look at this bowl, it's made out of wood pallets that you throw away and burn for your fire. So we make all kind of different designs. So we want to present this bowl handmade by the inmates of Phillips to Mr. Russell. Congratulations, Steve. I'm going to turn it over to Candace. I think she wants to present something to you. But again, guys, I appreciate you. Love you. Anything we can do to help you, we'll be glad to do so. Thank you.